Let's get back to the main subject, the entries. Entries are not actually a very complicated issue. It is about finding a suitable point of interest and making the entry. What we try to do here is actually very simple. Entering a trade as cheap as possible. Why? Because if you long an asset in premium levels, you do not have much room for stop loss or good targets. The most classic entry is the imbalance areas inside our structure boxes. This is the simplest form of making an entry. It is also one of the entry models that I use quite often. The more advanced version of this is actually a combination of imbalance and order block. Why? As I told you before, the healthy price action requires all the imbalances and gaps to be filled before moving away. Generally, the imbalance and order block combinations are great places because most of the time the imbalance will be fully filled. And the SR flip areas. You already know how much I love these flips. These are great reaction points. If you combine the support and resistance flip points with imbalance and order blocks, it can make the area much stronger and a better reaction point. I also want to mention this. Sometimes, once I point out a good rally with higher time frames, I can easily jump low time frame imbalances without any structure box. Because I know that some rallies are very fast and I do not want to miss them. The exact entry moment actually has two parts, higher risk and the lower risk entry. In the lower risk entry, what you actually do is wait for a low time frame micro price switch. Like in this example here, not jumping a trade but waiting for a possible reversal sign. A sign of low time frame buyers step in and take the control back from the sellers. Here you can see another example. Looking for buyer power, a buyer group that starts beating the sellers. However, with this style, you are reducing your profit because you are making a little bit of late entry. The riskier version is when I see a point of interest and a falling knife, waiting for some sort of rejection, such as a large wick or hammer candlestick. This means that buyers and sellers are in a fierce fight, and there is no winner yet. If you look at another example here, buyers keep rejecting sellers. The disadvantage of this entry is sellers can take back the control back, and buyers may lose and the price may keep falling. The advantage is you will have a much better profit target and a much better stop loss. Let me explain on this chart again. If you take the wick-based entry, you'll have a far better risk and reward ratio. However, since the buyers and sellers are still fighting, there's a high chance of losing the trade. But if you wait for the buyer power, this time you'll have much worse risk-reward ratio. However, there is a higher chance of making money with this trade. As you can see, it is all a trade-off that you may have to decide.